Hello everyone, this is Andrew from BF Media and Happy New Year to every one of you. How are you doing? I hope you are doing great because today we are going to look at how to retouch, how to edit fireworks in Lightroom. What would be better than a fireworks retouching tutorial after the New Year's Eve, right? So without any further ado, let us jump straight into the tutorial. But before we start, okay, just a moment, I have a disclaimer. Those are not the best fireworks shots. I had a tripod with me, but if I was to get a tripod, I would have missed the fireworks show. So I had two options: no fireworks photos or no tripod. So I wanted to take the fireworks photos, so I gave up the tripod. So ideally you want to have a few seconds exposure and way lower ISO, not 3000 ISO. Okay, so without any further ado, let us jump straight into this. Here I have 7 photos, the ones I like the most. Okay, first thing I like to do is, well, just play with the highlights. So it's good to play with the highlights something until you see something what you like. Okay, if you bring the highlights down, it's just boring. If you let them around 0, it's pretty okay. If you wanna pump them, well, let them pop. Let us make them pop a little bit, but not too much. Something like this. Okay, the shadows, you can bring the shadows down in order to make it even darker to pump the contrast. You can play with the white balance. With the white balance, you can even change the colors, of the fireworks. You can play with the tint. Let's make it a little bit more magenta-ish. The white point, it's already there. They are already clipped, but no problem. Just, you may or may not want to add the clarity because it brings clarity to. It won't be because the clarity will bring detail in the midtones, somewhere around here, not in the highlights, in the whites, and you just have the smoke just too saturated. But what you want to do is bring some vibrance, not too much. Do not overdo it. Something like this. We do not play with saturation from here. We will play a little bit later with the saturation. You can choose some contrast because contrast gives a little bit more. Contrast gives a little bit more of vibrance. Yeah, if this looks okay. Yeah, we check the medium contrast curve and then we change the shadow slider here. Okay, then let's go to HSL, hue saturation luminance, and let's see, those fireworks were red and green, so let us play with the red and green sliders for luminance first. Let's see, you want to make them lighter or you want to make them green darker. Let's see, let's make them lighter for this one. Both of them lighter. Then let's go to saturation and make them a little bit more saturated. Not too much though. You don't want them to look radioactive. Well, if that's what you're going for, go ahead, but not for this episode. Here you can change their colors, but it is not advised. Okay, I'm not doing that. Have a little bit of noise reduction, a little bit of sharpening and masking. Press the Alt key and bring it, basically you bring it about 50. For this one it's 59. Masking. Lens correction, you don't want, well, you might want to add a vignette, but I don't think why you would add a vignette on the fireworks. Okay, this is pretty good. This is the before and this is the after. It's already a little bit more vibrant. Well, actually, I think we can boost the saturation and the vibrance even more. Those are fireworks. Okay, this is overdone. This is overdone a little bit. But you get the point. If you are shooting raw, you can see here it's an NAF file. It's a Nikon RAW file. Your images will be flat, and that's why you want to bring the vibrance and even the saturation a little bit. Okay, let's go for the next one. Here is a lot of green. Here's a lot of green. Let us see what can white balance do. Nothing. Just okay, color temperature. Don't want any of that. Contrast, no. Okay, again, let us play with the highlights a little bit. Up the highlights, down the shadows, the whites, leave the whites alone. Maybe bring the blacks down just a little bit for that contrast. Even though in this kind of shot, contrast may seem irrelevant, but believe me, contrast brings vibrance to the image. Okay, not really this, but yeah, for this one I'm just adding the linear tone curve, something like that. Not too much though. I think I overdid it. Okay, let's go back to HSL tab and boost the saturation of the green and boost the luminance. I think. Let's see. Want to have darker green or brighter green? I think we might go for brighter green. Okay, if you don't know what color to choose from here, you can do this thing. You can take this tool, bring it to the photo, and it will auto select exactly what pixels, what colors you've clicked on. And now it selected green and aqua, more of aqua than green. So let's see. Okay, this is too bright. I think this will do. Not, it's too much. Something like that. Let's see the before and after. Let's bring some saturation into the aqua, because we saw that there was aqua. Okay. Some color correction. Forgive me. Excuse me. Some sharpening and then some masking. Okay, this is not a great shot, but it's pretty okay. This wasn't a great shot to begin with. But anyways, if you want, you can even have fun with the. Let's put some blue in the highlights and some red in the shadows, and just play with it. Split tuning. Don't go for split tuning with those. Don't go. This one, it's a little bit better. Okay, let's go back to the basic tab and let's see what can we do. If do not play with, we can. I think we can play with the tint just a little bit, make it more magenta-ish. Okay, bring the exposure down a little bit. Just a little bit. Highlights, let us bring the highlights up and the shadows a little bit down. Some vibrance, some saturation, not that much saturation though, something like that. Okay, let's go to HSL and let's see. We want to make those for this one. We're gonna go with darker tones. Okay, let's go to saturation and boost the saturation of red and orange and magenta. Why not? Let's go for magenta, something like that. Okay, let's go back to details, some noise reduction and some sharpening, so masking around 50, something like that, and it's already way better. It's way better. It's more bright, it's more punchy, if you want to say like this. Okay, let's go to the next one. This is a better. Well, those green ones weren't the greatest fireworks. We can play with the thing now and make them even greener. Just don't go to the extremes. But have a look. Just a little bit, make them greener. We'll leave the white balance as it is. No play with exposure, highlights. Bring them up a little bit. Actually, no, let them at 0. Bring the shadows down a little bit. Vibrance. Make the colors more vibrant. Saturation just a tad. Okay, some contrast. And maybe something like that, yeah. Don't bring the shadows so much down. Okay, let's bring some luminance into the green. Make them brighter. Saturation, so more saturation into the green, and aqua and yellow. And then we go again to detail. Add a little bit of noise reduction because we shot at 3000 ISO. Okay, let's do some masking, something like that. That's already great, better. Look, this is the before and this is the after. You can see the difference with your eyes. Okay, the next one, this one I like a little bit. Some of those shots in the thumbnails look at like they will be galaxies. They will be astrophotography. Anyways, let's make it more magenta. Not really so much, but just a little bit more magenta-ish and a little bit warmer. Let's bring down the exposure, but just a little bit, Bring down the highlights. Actually, no. Bring up the highlights and bring down the shadows as always. Bring down the vibrance, but not too much, because if you bring it too much, you can see it's beginning to look awful. Just a little bit of vibrance, a little bit of saturation. Okay. Tone curve. Let's try medium contrast. This is pretty okay. Okay, let us move the shadow slider a little bit. Then let's go back to HSL. Okay, leave the red as it is. Maybe bring the luminance up a little bit and just add some detail, some noise reduction and some sharpening, something like that. Okay, let us see what can we do here. Something like that. You already can see that it's way better. Well, this was a very good photo to begin with. Very bright and vibrant colors. This powerful red. This was an awesome firework. But yeah, I did not have the tripod to do the long exposure. So every time you shoot fireworks, have a tripod with you. Not in your car, not in your room, but with you, okay? This one I think I like the most. It's a vertical. It's different than the others, except the first one. But this is, I don't know, it has something that I like. Don't know what it is, but I like it. Let's make it a little bit more magenta-ish. Bring some more yellow with the white balance. Bring up the highlights. Bring down the shadows. Bring up the vibrance and a little bit of saturation. Something like that. Okay, let's go to the tone curve. No, we just use a linear tone curve. Go to detail. Add a little bit of noise reduction. And some sharpening and masking around 52%. Around 52. Before and after. I like it a lot. This one I like it a lot. Also, it's a great photo straight out of the camera. This is the last one. Yeah, another one with some vibrant colors. I like it, but I don't like it so much like this one. Okay, let's go to the basic tab. Make it a little bit more magenta, some blue into it, something like that. Yeah, it's way different. It's a little bit different is better. Bring down the exposure a little bit. Bring down the highlights. Bring down the shadows. The white points. Bring up the white points. And bring down the blacks. Some vibrance and some saturation. A little bit of saturation. Go to the HSL and pump the purple, pump the magenta, pump the red, and add a little bit of saturation into those colors. Then last thing, go to noise reduction, 20 luminance, 80 sharpening, and around 50 something masking. And this is the before and this is the after. Okay, you can see those photographs. Those are the afters. Those are the retouched versions of it. If it could load, it will be great. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. If you want to shoot fireworks, don't forget your tripod. Tell you once again, don't forget your tripod, because you need it to make even better shots. This tutorial wasn't a show of great fireworks photography. It's just a tutorial on how to edit those types of shots. Okay? If you enjoyed this video, hit the subscribe button for more tutorials like this. Make sure to check out my other tutorials, and don't forget to come back for more. Okay, this has been Andrew from BF Media. I hope you have a nice day, have a nice week, and Happy New Year once again to every one of you. Goodbye.